Hi, everyone. We have a short on Patreon right now. It is absolutely free. Go check it out. We were just goofing around, having some fun. It was very great. He's still winding that fucking thing. It's driving me crazy. I can't wait to get the fuck out of this room and this building. But otherwise, we have Patreon there. Go sign up. Go do what you need to do. We'll have some actual episodes coming up soon. And, goodbye. Hey, everybody. This is Chad Daniels, and you have landed in the middle of somewhere. Hello. How are you? Thank you for coming back. I feel like I just said that. Across from me, 3 miniature tables, is Cyrus Amundson.
Hi. Hello. It's great to see you. I think this is a good start.
I think it's a great start. I have a couple questions for you.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me put you in a scenario, depending on where you live.
Scenario.
Okay.
I use scenario.
If you and I were getting food.
Okay. Great. Love it already.
And I were to say, hey, I'll wait for the food, because you've been given a number. I'll wait for the food. You go make sure we have a table.
Is this a situation where we haven't gotten a number at the... Do we order and then we take the food to sit at a table? I don't understand.
Yep, we go in, we order.
Okay.
They give us a receipt with a number on it. Then we stand around like a bunch of cattle.
Okay.
And we wait for them to call our number. And then when they do, we walk up, hand them the receipt. They give us a tray of food. And then we have to go find somewhere to sit. But this place is busy.
So this is is this McDonald's?
This place is busy.
Are you describing McDonald's?
I'm describing a lot of places.
I guess I don't go to restaurants very often. That's a common thing. Wait, don't no shit me.
I'm going to no shit you. I just want to get to the fucking question.
I understand, but you said let me put you in a scenario, and I'm struggling to be in it. So this is a real sit down restaurant.
This is a place, let's call it a cafeteria.
Just say the name of the restaurant.
There's no name for it.
Okay,
it's a cafeteria. Let's say you're at Disneyland.
Okay, it's getting more ridiculous that you were mad at me that now we're in Disneyland just a sentence later.
We're at Disneyland.
Okay, we are at Disneyland together.
It's busy in the Disneyland cafeteria.
Okay.
So
one of these places where you can get from one of the many vendors.
In order to make sure we have somewhere to sit, I have offered my services to wait among the people coughing.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Just to make sure I understand this correctly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're at the mall food court.
Sure.
And there's only so many tables.
Right.
And a bunch of people ordering food.
Yeah.
And we're a tandem.
Yeah.
And one of us orders the food, but we want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. I'm close to becoming an Austin comedian and using words towards you that I don't agree with.
Well, I think we should try that out. I mean, it couldn't hurt our numbers.
That's true. So, you caught up here, dipshit?
Yeah, I feel like it's my job, if I'm going to execute an answer to the question, to fully understand the situation I'm in. So, yes. Okay.
We're at the mall food court.
Mm-hmm.
You've been there, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Love Sbarro.
Okay. So we're ordering from Sbarro. We've each ordered...
What'd you get?
I got a calzone.
Okay.
How about you?
I also got a calzone.
Okay, we both got calzones. I say, hey, I don't want to eat this calzone over a trash can like a single father whose kids didn't finish their meal. So I would like you... I'll wait here, right?
Okay.
Because I don't want you waiting around. Someone might bump you and whatever. So I'm offering that. And I go, can you please go make sure we have a table?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, with that responsibility, do you see any other jobs that might come with that? Like, what do you think your responsibility is when I ask you to do that?
Oh, I feel like I am being set up to not succeed in this fictional scenario.
I'm just asking how you feel.
When you say, here's what I'll tell you. When you say, go get us a table, I'm going to go get us a table.
Yeah.
I'm going to pop right on my phone, and I'm gonna keep that table, and I'm going to wait for you. Now, I think the answer I should have given, the answer, Chad, that I probably should have given as I stroke out midway through the first few minutes of this podcast is, do you want me to grab any napkins or like those little cheese or pepper packets since we're at Sbarro?
Now, you know what's crazy? That is not even it.
Okay.
Because if you grab those, you might be wasting time and someone might snag
Somebody
an
might
open
steal the table. Yeah. Okay. No, I think my answer is I don't see any other responsibilities. I think I just go get the table and I keep the table because that's what I was asked. That's what I was asked.
And that, I think that's fair. Now, from my standpoint, someone who always offers to wait around to get the food, I believe that a second responsibility would be to keep your eyes open for when I have the food to wave me down. So I don't have to go from table to table trying to find you.
I didn't. Yeah. Well, no shit. Are you saying like I didn't know that when you meant go get the table and nothing else, that I was just gonna get there and literally not do another single thing?
Well, you also said you were going to look at your phone.
That's true. I was gonna look at my phone.
And so maybe you wouldn't see me coming.
It's hard to not see you coming.
But I'm saying
you got my food. I'm hungry.
In a gigantic cafeteria with 3 different sections of tables, do you think instead of hunching over with your elbows connected to your knees, looking at your phone with your jacket hood up,
very specific,
do you think you should be like, over here, I see you have our food, I'm over here, instead of letting that person that generously offered to wait for the food to walk through several different sections looking for you twice in a row, 2 laps?
I was worried at the start of this that this was going to be one of those scenarios where you execute things on such a specific level that then you project your expectations like how you would behave onto everybody else. And
that is exactly what I'm doing right now.
And then get mad at everybody else. But here's the thing. In this case, I actually don't think it's an unrealistic expectation for the person who had the table to go, hey. I don't think that's
I have a table for us.
Yes, I have a table for you.
Maybe even one of these.
Here I am.
Maybe landing a plane with your arms situation.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Second question.
Okay, follow up connected or just new subject?
Connected.
Okay, great.
If the person that grabs the food, me, brings the food to the table,
Sabaro,
then goes and gets 4 napkins for the table, how many do you think are for you?
All 4 of them. I'm just going to dab the grease off that Sabaro so I can make my meal a little healthier.
Yep. And this is the problem. I've chosen out to hang out with the exact same kind of person in every friendship group of my life. This is the problem with all of it.
Yeah, how?
What I'm going to start doing is grabbing napkins. I'm going to bring 4 to the table. Then I'm going to have 8 in my fucking pocket. To make sure when all 4 of those get taken and I'm sitting there with greasy fingers wondering, well, that's so weird that I don't have a napkin because I grabbed all fucking 4 of them, that I think then I will be able to reach in my pocket and wipe my fingertips off and clean them.
Sure.
Now, you asked me to start this episode by asking you those questions.
No, I didn't ask you to ask. You just said you had questions.
You didn't know what they were.
You said you had questions, and I was like, I'm excited to hear them. Let's begin
feel
there.
like this would have probably gone a lot better in the middle of our episode.
I disagree. I think that I like learning about where you're at and what's going on with you early and often. And can I ask you a question back before you just fucking torpedo our entire program?
That's not what I'm trying to do.
Did I not give you the feedback you needed?
You gave me everything.
I thought I gave you everything.
You answered both questions.
It's weird because how rarely am I completely on your side, yet somehow you ended that by saying, "Yep, you're just like her." How did that?
It's not even a her.
Who's the person? You don't hang out with anybody.
That's not true.
You hang out with almost nobody.
I hang out with lots of people.
You definitely don't hang out with lots of people.
This is interesting. So now you're saying
don't.
This is the way you do things, and I'm trying to beat you to how you would think, and so I'm trying to make sure you don't freak out and you don't have any friends. Why didn't you just say autism?
I didn't.
Why don't you just say the fucking word?
I didn't say you don't have any friends. I just have known you long enough to know that you're not hanging out with a bunch of people a lot.
But I hang out with several people sometimes.
You hang out with some people every once in a while, and you hang out with a few people like a ton.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you ever kiss your kids on the mouth?
Never once have I. Nope, never once have I. You can see the whole explanation on Empty Nester, now available on Netflix.
So, but that is that very funny joke is framed more around. Like, did you ever kiss your little baby? If your little baby or your 1 year,
sure.
2
I'm sure that I
So, Sunday is really in...
Sunday!
My child, for the new listeners, who I named after a day of the week, that my wife is still not on board with. So...
what does she call him?
Baby, I think. So...
Baby.
He's
This is gonna be weird in middle school.
Dude, by the way, speaking of weird, man, he has switched from, he was a big dada. It was like,
I love a dada.
I love a dada.
Yeah.
And he has switched to, and our producer, the Cody monster, who's back there. Old Cody! So Cody's at the house every once in a while.
Just want to stop right here and say, looks like there was a conversation on either an airplane or in a car about chode code.
First of all, you keep doing it wrong. It's code chode.
Well, whatever.
But you admitted that works better. So just say it right and quit trying to undermine the nickname.
Fair.
Second of all, I'm just searching my way through other ones. It's nice to see you. Thank you for helping us, Cody. Funny, you're in the booth alone.
Yeah, Justin, can you do me a favor and say hi to Cody for us? Oh, you're not here.
Oh, weird. So, Cody can attest to this. He'll be over at the house, and the baby, when he says people's names, for some reason, he's got a bit of showman to him, and he likes to give a dada.
Yeah.
He likes to have a little whisper, which was very cool, and then he started calling me daddy.
Nope.
Hate it.
That's where I don't like it.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Hate it. It makes my skin want to crawl off my body.
It sounds like something you'd hear in Pet Sematary 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
The kitty's no longer in the ground.
It sounds like something a 22-year-old woman who really likes horses would call her dad. Like, I don't like daddy. It doesn't work for me.
Sounds like a 45-year-old man from the South.
By the way, well, here's the thing. I want to come back to daddy. I just hate the daddy. I like dada. I hate that we've partially shifted into daddy. But my question was, he's really into kissing. And
this is, to me, where it all comes together.
yeah, because it is hard. I think it's hard to kiss a baby who calls you daddy.
Kiss me, daddy. Well, why don't you show me on the doll where you want me to kiss you and mark the spot, because you're going to have to show a teacher.
So I think you want affection from your kid, so we've been teaching him to hug, want him to give kisses. We like to give him kisses. They say that kissing your baby makes him smarter, which, who did that study? I'm not sure.
Me either, but how many times did I get kissed?
Let's
Jesus
see.
Christ.
Come on. That's the only thing your dad gave you. He's like, well, I'm not going to be here in 8 years, so I'm going to kiss the shit out of this boy. Hope he turns out
8?
smart enough. 8? Well, he started kissing you at the age. That all worked out. He had decided to leave when you were about 5, and then he got in 8 years of kissing after that.
Sure, I get it.
Are we still pretending your dad's an awesome guy?
I think he is.
Okay, great. I love that. So, you'd kiss him on the cheek.
Yep.
He'd never kiss you on the cheek back. He'd always kind of shy away from it. So you'd give him goodnight kisses and that sort of thing, little kid stuff. But recently, he's decided that when I say goodbye to Jenna, or when Jenna says goodbye to me and we kiss each other, he's decided that he really now is in on the kissing. And what he does is he could be across the room and he'll just come walking over going, like the, he does he does a long running, and then when you get close enough and you pick him up or you go to kiss him, he shuts his eyes and just opens his mouth and doesn't even apply pressure. So it's like a dead fish, like with closed eyes, just, and it is I can't.
Just like docking at the space station?
Yeah. You can't not kiss. You can't be like, no kisses for you.
That's not how we kiss in this family, you fucking pervert.
So we just have to let this little boy work through his kissing,
right.
Which means I have a 16-month-old child in my house going, Dada, Daddy, and then just open mouth kissing me.
Yeah. Daddy. Just hear him coming.
Yeah, and it's a real, if you got a slow motion of it, when he comes in to kiss, it's a real like, ah. But I'm letting it happen. I'm kissing my boy on the face.
Wait till he starts connecting to your eyeball and licking your eye juice.
Oh, that sucks. What?
I've never heard Cody make that noise before. He just went, oh.
I've unfortunately heard Cody make
By
that
the
noise.
way, BTK, I keep saying Thai, I was told in Denver, torture. It's bound, torture,
Bind,
kill.
torture, kill.
Bind. That's
Bind,
why I just
torture,
used a
kill.
different tense of it.
Why are we so worried about being accurate on this show all of a sudden?
Oh, we're not.
We're not.
I was just throwing it out there to the people.
Just a heads
I'm
up.
probably
No need
still
to
going to
correct
end up
us.
saying Thai.
No need to correct us. I was at a wedding.
Time out. I'm not done with this daddy thing.
Okay, sure.
Have you been to the South and heard a grown-up, 45 years or older, male, in like a suit, really looks like they're doing something?
President of a bank, maybe.
And then they go, well, my daddy said, and you go, I don't think so. When did he say it? Before you were 5? Why the fuck are you calling him that? And whatever. I don't care, like, South, you want to contact me and let me know, that's fine. But it does seem weird.
It's very weird.
It seems weird to me unless you go, daddy. And then open mouth suction right to his cheek.
And whoever's in charge of the South, go ahead and email Chad at thechaddaniels@gmail.com. That's thechaddaniels@gmail.com.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. And
Don't you give out mine.
whoever's in charge of the South, I think that would be a good idea. And it's chokeme69@gmail.com if you want to get a hold of Cy. Chokeme69.
Why would I put a 69? I know, but that's not important. I you see it all the time. And by the way, you don't have to go that south. Cody and I are in Cincinnati, and people are like, "Daddy gonna meet us with his brothers over at the chili shop."
And
You're
I
like,
say this all the time to people in Ohio.
Yeah.
You are in a state that touches a lake that touches Canada. Nobody believes your fake fucking accent.
I don't know how fake it is.
It's totally, it is fake.
It was fake at one point. I think at one point a guy was like, "You know what? I'm kind of sick of this, and I'm feeling a little bit more like this." And then he did that, and his kids did that, and his kids did that. I think it's pretty drilled into some of those people.
I used the Southern accent on vacation more when I was in Europe, more than I've ever used it.
Of course.
Because I was trying to fake pronounce the words, and then I would make them mean something else.
Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Yeah, so there was like, one of those no smoking signs, the red circle with the slash through it.
Sure, Ghostbusters sign.
And then it said two names, or two things, but then in between, A in French is, and in French is A, it's E-T. And so I was walking around looking at people as they walk by, and I go, can you believe they won't let 3 people pass these gates and one of them's E.T.? What in the fuck's going on in this country? And I was having so much fun. I've used the Southern accent more in the last 2 weeks than I have in my whole life.
I've always thought if I went...
I kind of love it.
Yeah, I always thought if I went to Europe, that would be... I don't want to be one of those people who represents America well.
I think there's 9 of us.
I have no interest in it. I want to be over there like, God damn! What is with this grocery store? Where's the fucking Chex Mix at?
Now, let me tell you something. You don't even have to worry about representing the U.S. poorly, because as soon as you get there and they smell it on you, they're like, I don't care if you fucking speak French perfectly.
Yeah.
We hate you.
Well, that seems like a France problem as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Head over to England and see how they feel. You were in France, right? Was that a harsh vibe?
It wasn't. So here's the thing. We went to France.
I've got a daddy thing. Because before we escape that, because I thought of something where you're saying it. I did go to a wedding of an adult man.
Okay.
Northerner. No slang to him. Spoke just like this. I'm talking about this wonderful event and this day, and I just want to say thanks to say thanks to blankety blank's parents. Mm-hmm. They've been so wonderful and incredible. And then he thanked his mom, and then he thanked his daddy. His daddy. That's a tough run at a wedding speech. You could feel it in the room. Everybody leaned over and went, "Fucking daddy?"
No,
because he didn't say mommy.
Right.
He didn't say mommy, and
that would be ridiculous. I mean, saying mommy's unacceptable, but daddy, it's fucking weird. Now, was it actually his father or was it a 20-something with an ascot?
Yeah, you never know. It could have been his daddy.
Okay.
Maybe he's the one who set him up. It was also a wedding where they did, where they had a choreographed wedding dance.
Oh.
And I'm going to take a lot of heat for this. I'm not into it. Here's the thing. I'm not into it for me. I'm glad you said that. If you and your partner want to, if it's anything that makes someone happy, go for it. But I don't know. I think I'd be like, I've heard people say I spent 8 months in dance classes for our first dance. Yeah. Don't you think you'd get that Michael Phelps depression the moment the wedding was over? That's a lot of build for one moment.
Right. Yeah, but then you fucking always have it. You watch it on your phone at work, and you have the silhouette of you two dancing tattooed on your arm. It's a lot of that shit. I'm going to tell you something. I'm glad you said you don't like it for you.
I don't like it for me.
I don't like it for me.
Okay.
But I love it at a wedding. Because that means however long that choreographed dance is, that's an amount of minutes I don't have to talk to the dipshits at my table that I've been put next to, right? What do? I just try to have fun. Well, I mean, but what do you do for work? Just whatever comes my way. But I'm asking, it's like, read the fucking room, dude.
I don't want to tell you.
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm either a low-rent entertainer that I'm embarrassed by that and I don't want your questions, or I'm an organized crime. Take a fucking hint, lady.
I'm a podcaster that has fucking 1,000 listeners. I don't want
On video.
Watchers.
We're doing so much better.
I understand.
We're doing so much. Definitely not 1,000 on audio.
I know.
How could that be?
Well, you know me. I like to drop it down a little bit.
No, we're doing so great.
Well, listen, I don't know our numbers. I never look at them. But I will tell you, every week people come through the line.
Every week they come through the line and they say, it's about time you guys shoot that podcast in the head. What?
Every week they come through line and they go, glad I followed you on socials. Yeah, I used to listen to your podcast.
Do you think
I was like, oh, that didn't get any response. That was weird.
Here's the thing. I've accepted that. Do you think if that girl and that guy, the guy who's like, and I just want a huge shout out to my daddy, when they get divorced, all her friends are like, yeah, dude, he calls him his fucking daddy at the wedding. You think that one sticks around for a while?
There's no doubt. There are people, the dollar dance?
I'm telling it on a podcast with at least 1,000 viewers right now. And I got to be honest, this is not someone that I am remotely intimately connected to.
And I'm going to tell you something, that the minute he said that, all her friends at the wedding went to the bathroom and they were like, we got to get her the fuck out of this. During the dollar dance, where you go pay $1 to dance with the bride and groom, we need to whisper in the guy's ear, I'll fuck you if you meet me at my hotel. And then he goes, what's the room number? I got you, bitch. I got you. Now you and your daddy can go fuck off.
Where do you think the dollar dance started? Justin, could you look up the dollar dance?
Oh, you're not here? Oh, I guess Honeycomb is outside fucking combing through his pubic stash.
What? Because there's a lot of things I don't love about weddings because I'm an old grump.
Yeah.
But I think people have a shower and you give, like, if you're close with someone. Right. You have a shower, and this happened for us. We got all these things, so I am somebody who has received, and I'm still complaining about the process.
Right.
But we didn't do a dollar dance.
Well, here's the thing about showers, though. You receive once.
Yeah.
You give forever.
Yeah.
And ever. Especially you with that big-ass family. God, it's never ending.
Thank you. We got to do another shower for Ellie coming up.
How about we just do this thing? No.
Oh, we might have to cut this. Go ahead. Keep talking.
I'm not going to keep talking if we're going to cut it.
No, let's just keep going. Let's just run by it in case somebody gets mad at me. Yeah. Let's just run by it in case somebody gets mad at me. So
many families do a Christmas where they go, you know what? Let's just gather. Let's have some food. Forget the presents.
And that sucks. Well,
I'm trying to apply that rule to showers to help you.
I know, but I want to be a hypocrite, so
let me know where the table is.
Let's separate them.
Wave your arms so I know where to walk with our food.
let's separate them. Let's walk through both of them.
Okay.
Because you give at the shower, and then you bring a gift to the wedding, and then you're like, hey, do you got like a 50 on you that you can go dance with your cousin's wife that you don't really know that well, but also it costs $50?
But she's not related to you, so you don't know like where it could end up.
Also, yikes. Also, it's your hotel room was $295 because I don't know if you've been in a hotel lately, but that's Best Western prices. Currently, so
can I tell you something? I like a good wedding card, right? That's $6.
yeah,
I keep the receipt for that.
sure.
Then I keep the receipt for the rental car, the flight, the hotel, all my meals.
Yeah.
Those go in the wedding card. Not even with love. I just sign my name and I go, there you go.
There it is.
What, did you also want a fucking bread maker?
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
But I do think the showers. It's the dollar dance is a little weird. We didn't do a dollar dance, but if I could do my wedding over,
A dollar dance is for the poors.
a dollar. I'm not going to jump on that train.
I think it is. I think it's for young couples that need an extra $200.
When you say pours, I don't think people out there in listener watcher land go. Obviously, he's talking about young people. I think they hear like, "Hey, did anybody bring the cheek to do the dance with the 50s?"
Two things. When I say poors, I mean young couples just starting out.
I think it says more about me, how I...
And then I also have to say, one of my favorite things that happens on this podcast is when you load for a Southern accent.
And I get started early.
And you go, and they'd be like, hey, y'all. You start one word early every time, and it makes me laugh.
In a few moments, I'm going to do an impression, and then I start. It's... I think if I did my wedding over, I think I would, there are certain things, and it's not that it was taken too seriously, I think it was a nice day, but everybody talked me out of surprising the entire wedding at the very end of the night with an Elvis impersonator to kick 3-4 songs off. And I've since found out, I saw online somebody had an Austin Powers impersonator for their birthday. And so I think given the opportunity to redo a wedding, I think I would have an impersonator there. Now, it sucks now that I'm saying that out loud, because if you ever get married, that would have been a really funny gift to do at the end.
Oh. Can't do it now.
I can't do it now. But also, I think
if I redid my wedding, there'd be several things I'd change.
What about...
Sorry, Olivia. Your life does not exist.
Let's go to Christmas. I'm a big bunch of gifts at Christmas guy. No matter, I don't like the let's just gather thing. Now here's the thing. If you don't have money and you can't buy a gift, I don't think it's about buying gifts. Make stuff, do like. Yeah. But I don't like the isn't our presence with one another enough?
Oh, no, by the way, I agree. I was trying to get you out of this shower gift buying thing.
I don't think I was in anything.
Because I will tell you, you don't walk in unless I see a physical present.
I agree with that.
In your arms.
I agree with that.
And guess what? Food doesn't count.
Food doesn't count.
So you put the wrapped gift or gift bag on top of whatever casserole you're trying to pawn off.
Absolutely.
And so I can see it.
Oh, a pie you made at home? That's not a gift. That's dinner. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tired of it. Hi, I'm standing here with my phone in my hand, asking you to come to a live comedy performance. November 20th, I'll be in San Francisco at Cobb's. 21st through the 23rd, I'll be at Sacramento. That will be Punchline. Salt Lake City in December, along with Las Vegas. Then we go to Atlanta, Portland in January. We go Kansas City, Omaha, Des Moines. And this is all in February. Minneapolis at the end of February, I'll be there. March 1st, I'll be at Acme as well. Then I go to Dania Beach. I'm going to be in Fargo, North Dakota, Tempe, Arizona, Huntington, New York, Montclair, New Jersey, and Philly, PA with Kelsey Cook. We're doing those shows. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Cleveland, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Those are all on my website, chaddaniels.com/tour. Come to a show. Say hello. That's it.
Can I tell you one other Sunday thing?
Of course. Can I tell you something? You never have to ask me that.
Sure. Because I look like this right now. Mm-hmm. So somebody gave him as a gift, they gave him a collection, like a kid's book of Bible stories.
Oh, my brain has already ended 35 different stories. I've already come up with and completed 35 different stories about this.
It's going exactly where you think it
I
go.
know it
He
is.
really loves it because he loves books where it's a normal page and then you pop something open.
Yeah,
like
I love those too.
The duck's in the pond, the fish is in the pond.
Yeah.
He likes that stuff. So he got to, they were reading through it. He wanted to read it, and it was his first time he'd ever wanted to read. He has so many books.
Yeah.
So we were all in his playroom, and so Jenna sits him down, and she starts going through the book, and she gets to Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
And he just points to Noah and goes, Dada. And then there's two other Noahs, and he just goes, Dada, Dada. And then it opens, and there's Noah hanging out with his big fucking beard, and he's like, Dada. So and I want to tell you, when it comes to Bible stories, it's not like there's not a lot of guys that he thinks is Dada in there.
There's no doubt about
There's
it.
a Moses, there's a Jesus,
He's
there's a Noah.
He's gonna come through now and be like, "Daddy," and just wrap a headband around your forehead. Put some sandals on you.
I don't know what Cain and Abel look like, but I can't imagine it's a lot different than everybody else in this child Bible book.
Yeah, and here's the weird thing. It's like no one in the Bible looked like you. So this is clearly a book that was...
Oh,
Made by the
here comes historically correct Chad, who has to tell us Jesus didn't
Whoa.
have blue eyes.
Whoa. I'm saying he had blue eyes.
Oh my gosh, we get it, Chad. You're intent on taking down the church. Just
Not
say
at
it.
all.
Just say
Let me
that the
speak
Catholic Church and the church in
No.
general is your enemy.
Not
and you're
true.
here to take them down.
Not true.
It's just,
I absolutely think Jesus had blue eyes, but he was black, and that's how he tricked people into thinking he was a god. Right? They were like, everyone else was like, he looks different. It's like, yeah, it's because I'm from the heavens.
Do you think that's how he said it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been a nice run, everybody.
This is how I'm going to retire. I have to tell you something. So I have two more
How
stories.
you going to retire is like some like unhinged Catholic person is going to gun you down in a Louisville comedy club.
I don't think that that's where they are. I think in Louisville. I hope not.
You don't think there's Catholics in Louisville? You hear that? That sounds like a challenge, Louisville.
Shalom!
He doesn't think that a Catholic person could gun him down. Oh my God, what if you ended up getting killed in a Louisville comedy club? I would feel so bad and so powerful.
I thought, yeah, I was just going to say, I thought you were going to say, I would feel so vindicated in my thoughts about this.
So terrible and so powerful.
I was in a bar in Dublin. And
Ohio?
Yeah, Dublin, Ohio. And there was like this clapping behind me. And so I turn around and we see that there is someone doing close-up magic.
Okay.
Okay? And we haven't seen this. Now, do you have thoughts on close-up magic?
I mean, this is going to make me feel really dumb. Do you just mean like
right in front of you magic?
Yeah,
like
okay, yeah.
doing,
It's not stage magic.
It's not a grandiose... No one's making the Statue of Liberty disappear.
Yeah. It's not a big... It's not Chris Angel.
Yeah, right.
Or even Copperfield. It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
This is your card?
This
No,
is
it's
at
not.
your
It's
table.
gone.
They're wrapping your paper menu against the salt shaker, and then they slam it down, and there's no
Love it.
salt
And
shaker.
the salt shaker's gone. Yeah, I love it.
I love it too.
I love it so much.
I love it too. But then I started thinking about this guy, right? I looked at him, and I go, I don't know, man. There's something about this guy. So I gave him a backstory.
The magician?
Yeah. The backstory I came up with is this.
Okay.
He is from America because he had an American accent.
Of course.
Then he's in a cubicle for 50 weeks out of the year.
In America.
In America, just in some mind-numbing job. People walk by and they go, hey, Eric. He's like, nah. He barely responds. They go, what the fuck's up with Eric, man? He's like, no. Hey, Eric, we're going out. You want to have some fun? He's like, no, thanks, guys. I just got to get my work done. Like, fucking Eric never comes out with us. Never. Does he have a family? No one knows anything about him.
Okay.
And then for 2 weeks, they go, hey, man, you have vacation. 2 weeks coming up. We saw it on the schedule. Where are you going? And he goes, no, probably just going to hang out, get some stuff done around my house. But Eric is not going to get anything done around his house because he's on his way to fucking Dublin with his magic kit. And he fucking goes across Ireland slaying puss, dude. Slaying.
I don't know how we got there. I don't know how we
because he's
got there.
doing magic.
There's no...
Eric
Okay.
goes to these bars, and these girls are on vacation too.
Were there, in the bar you were in, were there a bunch of girls like, oh my God, close-up magic?
They were losing their mind. It goes black people, women in this bar of who gets more impressed by magic.
Okay.
And they were
the way
neck
you
and
started
neck.
that sentence, I had no idea where you were going.
No, this guy.
I'm glad where you landed, because black people do love magic.
I love magic.
And I love magic,
and it makes me
too.
think I'm black a little bit. I'm going to 23. I don't need 23andMe because of how I respond to magic.
Did we Freaky Friday before this episode? What's
Maybe.
happening right now?
We maybe did. But
Okay.
I'm going to tell you. I
Do
don't
the
need
voice.
any of that stuff. What voice?
Any of them.
Anyway, so we're there. And I start coming up with this story, and that's what he does. He goes around and
So he doesn't work at the place. He's just at the place doing
he's just
close-up
there
magic.
doing magic.
Okay, gotcha.
And these women are loving it, and all of a sudden he's going in for hugs, and I'm like, this creepy motherfucker. But also, it's like kind of brilliant because there's consent involved. He's not doing magic to make them say yes. He's, well, he kind of is.
I mean, he definitely is. It's definitely part of the yes process for him.
And then Kelsey and I started talking about it, and I think the funniest way this ends is if he like goes, right? She's in the bar, and she goes, "Well, I don't know if I want you touching my butt." And he
Who
goes,
is that?
I don't know, somebody over there.
Okay, yeah.
And he goes, "Well, I mean, you've never tried anal?" And she goes, "I've never had anything in my ass before." And he goes, "I beg to differ," and then pulls a rabbit out of her asshole and just holds on to it right there. And she has.
I'm just happy it was a rabbit. Why am I happy it was a rabbit?
What else would you pull out in a magic trick?
I don't know, man. We're way down a path here.
And then Kelsey was like, What if he pulls out to come and it's just nonstop handkerchiefs? And he's just pulling them out nonstop? I think it would be fantastic. If I have to listen to you open mouth kissing your son, you're going to listen to my overseas magic cum god.
I didn't. I just think there are
What if he pulled out the rabbit and she goes, "You found me Lucky Charms," and that's
charms.
4 rabbit feet, dude.
Oh, yeah. So it's not. I don't have a. I'm having a hard time. You know me. I like realism, obviously.
Yeah, you're very connected with reality. Yeah.
I just don't understand this universe where the only thing that doesn't track for me is a quiet guy going to Europe to do you just have to help me put the pieces together. Has he tried magic in the U.S. and people have been like, "Hey, you fucking loser! I'm trying to eat at Ruby Tuesdays. Get the fuck out of my face!"
Because nobody is at Ruby Tuesdays really excited and went out to party. This bar is specifically to come sing along with Irish music.
Okay.
And everyone's getting drunk.
Okay.
So he's there like, "Hey, do you guys... Hey, I tell you what,
I suppose I could do a card trick.
Sign the Queen of Hearts. We'll see if it shows up again. I don't know. I'll put it in this envelope. You hold on to the envelope, and maybe I'll get that from you later." What if that's what he did? What if they're like, "You suck at magic," and then he's like, "Yeah, but I'm kind of good looking." She goes, "All right, I'll take you home," and then he pulls the Queen of Hearts out there.
Can I give you an alternate?
And she goes, "What the fuck is that?" And he goes, "You tell me." And it's her signature. Come on. God damn, that's crazy. Yeah. Eric rules. I don't even know if it's true. But the Eric I came up with fucking dominates life.
And I actually think the Eric you came up with sucks. But I think we get to...
That sounds about right.
Can I pitch you an alternate backstory?
Yeah, of course.
Because I read this article on a website somewhere. How specific is that? I was on the internet.
Wait a minute, McDonald's?
And so...
Are we talking about a mall food court? Where did you see this article?
I think it was not, and you left, if you would have added the cafeteria part in early, I think I would have come around. But you pitched this restaurant where you went, "Well, this is just a sit-down restaurant where we order our food and then all scramble for
Times
tables."
Are changing.
But I don't know about that.
Times are changing. People want new fusion food where you have to wait for it because it makes it feel more special.
So I'd read a story on here's my alternate backstory.
Okay.
I'd read a story on a magazine, and it was about a fella who, buckle up for not enough information.
I'm ready.
So this guy had everything was going great in his life, normal job. He'd just gotten married. Then all of a sudden he started having health problems. He went to the hospital and they checked him out, and they're like, "Hey, you have like a really rare brain disease, and it is going to kill you."
Okay.
About 6 months.
Okay.
And here are all the horrible steps. First, your limbs will stop working, and then this will stop, and then eventually you'll be trapped inside your body, and then eventually you will die. Right? So, bad news. Okay.
That sucks pretty hard.
Super bad news. And it's a long way from there to Tada in Dublin. But go with me.
Yeah, when you said alternative, I go, maybe I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. But I'm listening.
Okay, so go with me. So this guy, and I read the article, it was everything happened. All the steps, like, it is happening, I am dying. And then
I can't feel my limbs.
And then he can't. It progresses all the way to where, like, he's just trapped in his body.
His brain's working. He can hear, he can see, he cannot react.
Yep. And then they said the last thing that will happen is you will go into a coma, you'll be out of it, and gonzo, right?
Okay.
So he goes into the coma, but then he hears everybody talking around him about the coma, and he starts thinking, well, they said the coma, I wasn't going to be there anymore. I would be brain dead. I'd be gone. And everybody in the room is telling his wife he's hooked up to machines, how he's a goner. But he's not. He hears everything. He can feel everything. And that goes on for a while. And they don't pull the plug on him. There wasn't a lot of details on that. I had questions about that in the story.
Okay.
But he was on like coma watch for like months, because basically the plan was just let him be in a coma and die. And he stayed. And this whole time he's just inside. He can't move. So a nightmare, an absolute, like, if you're ranking, by the way, horrible ways to die, I do think rooms slowly filling up with water.
That sucks.
Probably tortured to death. I don't know why I went down this path. I don't know what I've done here.
Are you about to pull a rabbit out of this man's asshole? How does this connect back to what we were talking about?
So, then a doctor's in there with like some med students or somebody.
Okay.
And all of a sudden one day he's laying there, hasn't done anything in forever, and his eyes move.
Okay.
A little bit
like a Scooby-Doo painting.
Like, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And the doctor's like, did you see that? Oh my God, his eyes, like, and people kind of get jacked. And
of course they get jacked.
And they get in there, and then they realize that there is some sort of movement with him that, like, because no one has ever survived, like, people don't survive this disease, they don't survive whatever, they don't survive whatever has happened here.
Sure.
Right? So then he slowly starts becoming a little more able with his eyes. What? Right? Yes. And so then they get him, like, somehow they get him like a communication board so he can communicate, so he can say like water, poop, stuff like that. Like he needs stuff. But then one day the doctor's in there and they're talking about like, there's a chance he might come out of this. And, but he would have to, it's crazy. He'd have to go do 3 hours of rehab. He's not hardly moving. It would just be a waste of our time and resources. And then
the other option is death?
Well, I think he's just going to be somebody who's in a vegetative state.
Gotcha.
Or like
Okay.
they don't think he's going to come back from this. He's been in a coma for a while.
Yeah, he's not going to get drafted.
Yeah. He's not going to play for the Houston Rockets. That's correct.
Okay.
So but while they're saying like this is so pointless to do 3 hours of rehab, he motions, like he uses his board and basically says, I can do 3 hours. And they're like, what the fuck? You can hear us? That whole time they didn't know he could hear them. They're like, oh my God, he's in there. No clue that he'd been in there. And so apparently what had happened is whatever that brain disease, like he survived that brain disease.
Yeah.
But he also got this thing called locked in syndrome, which no one has ever survived, where you basically get locked inside your body and then die.
Do you think it's because their loved ones unplugged them too soon?
That's one of the questions I have.
God! I'm gonna barf! I'm gonna barf thinking about it! They were just like sitting in there going, guys,
Don't.
Can you check my board? I'm saying please don't. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. And you can hear them going over to unplug the machine.
That's all I can think about is how many, like, maybe.
God,
and you just got to hope all the other people with locked in syndrome or whatever, that they all just died and didn't get unplugged. Because if you're somebody at home who unplugged, like, your uncle, you're like, maybe we should have waited it out.
You hear that there's like this gestation period of coma, but then that's only to heal and get you better.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, remember when we flipped a coin? What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
He probably heard the coin jingling around. Was wondering. We didn't even say heads or tails, so he didn't know what was going on. Then we just unplugged him and he was dead.
He probably called tails. So he slowly starts coming back, and he goes from this full coma to eventually he can get out of bed. He's sitting in a chair.
Oh my God.
He's in a wheelchair. He's moving around, and I gotta believe somewhere on that vision board is magic in Dublin. And let me tell you why I think that. Because I read this whole article, and it was heartbreaking and gut-wrenching and inspiring, and for the same reason you just said, terrifying at the same time.
Yeah.
And I read all the way through it, and you remember at the beginning, they're like, he had his whole life in front of him. He had just gotten married.
Yeah.
He was a newlywed. He had this great job. He had all these things. And then at the bottom, it said how he was doing now, and it said his name, and like, let's say it was Jim. It said, Jim, who's now divorced.
Oh, that creepy bitch.
And they didn't even, it was just a footnote. Jim, who's now divorced. And then they just kept going. Like, that's a tough sentence to throw in. Like, I went on this whole journey, and you're just going to be like, and by the way, the love didn't last. So now she didn't stick around to wipe him. So I think if you got all the way through that, you get all the way through that and you're single, learn some close-up magic and fuck your way across Europe.
Jim, I'm going to tell you one thing. It's $12 on AT&T to use your phone service abroad. $12 a day. And it would be worth it to send one picture back home. Just you jizzing scarves with the phrase, ta-da, motherfucker.